All right, y'all, welcome back. So we are in the old garage here, and as you can see, it is stuffed full of stuff. It is a mess. I don't have my vehicles in here right now, but today we're gonna start working on this garage. So we've moved in almost a year ago at this point. I think we moved in December, last December here. Just shoved everything in here. I didn't do anything, like put up any kind of, I'm getting a dang old phone call. It's my wife. Hello.
Hey.
What's up?
I was looking on Marketplace and I found a lamp that I was actually wanting to get from Target a while back for my craft area, since my other one fell apart when we were moving, which you can throw out, by the way, if you're working out there.
Just started the video. You're live on the video right now.
Well, I was wondering if you wanted to go with me tonight and pick it up.
That's fine. I still have the trailer hooked to the truck. If you want to come home, we can take the truck and get more shelves for the basement.
Yeah, that's fine. Papillion is where I have to pick this up, though.
Oh, well, maybe we'll just wait on that. I'd rather not drive it all over town. But
yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I'll see you when I get home.
All right.
I love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.
Well, there you go. Yes, so where was I at here? We moved in, I shoved everything in the garage, and I didn't get any shelving other than what I already had in here. But when I back the van in, or the truck in over here in this corner, so that I can fit the other vehicle in, I end up blocking my toolbox in. That's where I shoved it. That came with the place. It's just a little locker, which I shoved some stuff in here. And then that was up here, which I've shoved some tools in. But that's all that was here, other than these random shelves that were on the wall and these couple of posters. So there was these wire shelves, and then these things. There's wire shelves there. There's wire shelves right there. And another one of those white dealy bobs there. And the counter that's here that needs to be replaced. But yeah, as you can see, junk everywhere. Basically just enough room for my wife to pull her car in and park there. And then the kayaks are there, and a bunch of extra wood, paint jugs, grill, bicycles, door that I'll never use. This was a shelf that I had in the old garage. So I shoved that between these two garage doors, which worked nice. But as you can see, I've just got junk all over the floor. The bikes don't have a great spot. They just sit in between the vehicles when I have the van and the truck parked in here. So ideally, I'd like to get this space cleared out and put them there. The mower can go out to that little shed that I have in the backyard, but right now, the homie Greg's mower is in there that he let me borrow when my other one died. And that's his black motorcycle. That's not my black one right there. So that will get out of here eventually. But today, what we're gonna do is start cleaning this up. Hopefully by the end of this video, I have that space cleared out, and I picked up shelves to put along this wall. So I'm gonna take those wire shelves down that are there. And with these shelves, I bought these from Menards. They're 77 inches wide each. And these are the ones that you can connect together. As you can see, there's 2 units there. And you can connect them together. I don't have enough space to put them together and make them that long. They're 77 inches wide, 72 inches tall, and 24 inches deep. But if I put them over here, and awesome poster that came in on the live, I guess it's a fabric banner. That's pretty rad. If I take these wire shelves down and I put them over here and butt it up against this cabinet that's on the wall, it should run over far enough and leave me enough space that I can put my toolbox right here next to the door. And then that'll be nice there. Get some of this stuff off the ground, and I'll be able to pull the vehicles in a little bit farther over here and a little bit closer to that wall. And then we're gonna figure this out. A lot of this stuff can go down to the basement. There's still a lot of stuff, like my fishing stuff that's usually in the basement just ended up out here. There's extra stuff. I may put these 2 front van seats, or the middle seats, downstairs for now. And there's just a bunch of random stuff that can still go down there. The big thing is going to be, what am I gonna do with my flip over ice fishing hut? I don't really know where I'm gonna put that yet. It's like 38 inches deep, so putting that on one of these shelves is not a good idea. A lot of guys will get like a hoist system and lift it up to the ceiling, which I might do, but this is a 16-foot wall, so I'm gonna need something to get up there and do that with. Same thing with the kayaks. Not exactly sure what I'm gonna do with those yet. Those are 12-foot kayaks. There's two of them there. One of them's kind of covered by that wood, but those should fit in between these two windows if I get some brackets and hang them on the wall. I think that's what I'm gonna do there, but I'm not exactly sure yet. But for now, we just need to get started putting these shelves together and getting this back wall cleared out, get those shelves down and get those up there, and we'll see what we can do. And since you guys heard the phone call from the missus, it is 2 o'clock and she gets off at 4:30, so I don't have much time to get this started. So yeah, I'm gonna put you guys, well, let's get one of these open and maybe start putting it together. I don't even know where to start. This is one of those things, like, I'm stoked to have this massive garage. It's 40 by 44. But when we got all our stuff in here, now I'm kind of at the point that I don't want to do any of this stuff because it's just going to be a pain. But you got to look at the end, and I'll be stoked once it's all finished up and get that cleared out, and hopefully I can get the lift put in there. I can start working on a loft build for there, which those should fit underneath a loft since they're only 77 inches tall. Yeah, but we'll see about that, because then I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull the van in. I gotta measure how tall that is, blah, 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 yakety schmackety. We'll figure all that stuff out as we go. So yeah, I guess let's pop one of these shelf units open and start looking at that. Maybe get it assembled over there, and then I can just kind of push it into the corner or push it in as I move all this stuff out of there. I don't know, we just gotta get started because I've already filmed for 7.5 minutes. And of course, it's a balmy 90-degree day in October here in Nebraska, which is kind of wild, but it doesn't feel too terrible in here. This all just clicks together. You don't need any tools, which is the nice thing about these like pallet rack style of units. I wouldn't call them pallet racking because they're not deep enough to put a pallet on, but they should work nice. And Menards is doing their 11% rebate right now, so I'll get a little bit of my money back off of this. Those are the shelves. These were a joy trying to load and unload myself off of my trailer, but what do you do? All right, there we go. We've got one completely together. I just spaced the racks out evenly. We may end up moving some of those because I'm probably going to put that TV on one of these. And I kept it a little bit off the ground, one notch up. As you can see, you can put the shelves wherever you want. And like I said, you can build right off the side of this one. I might actually do that, and then I'll end up with an extra one of these, and then I can buy one more of these for my basement and use that one and have a double wide shelf in the basement if I just buy one more. So I probably will connect the other one to this one. Comes with wire shelvings with a bunch of these braces in here. It does have enough of a lip that you could use probably 1/2 inch or even 3/4 inch plywood if you wanted a solid shelf. I'm not worried about that. It's gonna be totes and stuff. If it comes down to it, I can change that up in the future. I could even move this one up another notch, but that's it. It's nice, they're sturdy. The thing says you can put 3,000 pounds per shelf on these things. It's pretty heavy duty, so anything that I want to put out here from the garage, I can stick on there. I can't, there's not going to be anything I'm going to be able to pick up that's that heavy. I'd need an engine hoist to get that, my old engine block if I wanted to set it on there, but that's probably just going to stay underneath that shelf over there. So since we've got one of these together, I think it's time to start moving stuff out of the corner over here. We'll start on this side. Yeah, there's the old engine block from the truck. That file cabinet needs to go in the basement. That's just full of fishing stuff. The one that the TV is sitting on needs to go to the basement. That's all truck parts. This will go back onto the van. Motorcycle seats, just a bunch of junk. Water jugs that I haven't used in 15 years that I could probably just throw away at this point. I don't know, but we're gonna start pulling this stuff down. That pegboard was there. It's nice. I might end up moving that somewhere else to a different wall. We'll see about that. But the rest of this stuff is all gonna come down. And I'm gonna try to get that thing down. And I'm hoping there's like no massive hole behind there. We shall see. All right. Stoked. I gotta tell myself this is awesome. I don't even know where to put stuff. Probably gonna run into some big spiders in here somewhere. I ain't joking about that. There's some monsters in here. There's a few of them on a sticky pad. Can you see those guys? And those aren't even the biggest ones. Yeah, there's 3 of them and some crickets and whatnot on here. But I've got also like big black ones. These are, I believe they're called corn spider, or not corn spiders, grass spiders maybe. I don't know how well that camera will focus in on that, but there's some big old spiders out here. That's another reason I want to get everything off the floor. So not only can I easily spray all around the garage with like the home defense bug spray or whatever, but I've got a dust mop so I can dust mop underneath everything very easily. So, Spideys. Here's more. And a moth. Big old Spidey. There's one right there that's alive. Not alive anymore. Not too shabby. You can see that there is electrical outlets back here, but I do have access to it, which is nice because I've got a big power strip sitting on the floor over here that I may just end up like mounting into one of these shelves. Yeah. Well, stoked on that. I just did a quick measurement again, make sure I was right, and my toolbox is gonna fit perfectly, like right on the edge of the door, with a few inches to spare, so you can get the door open over 90 degrees. So this is gonna be about perfect, and then I'll move these totes probably onto here, and that motor will sit under there, facing this direction, so that I can now back up farther, because everything was, you know, it was sticking out probably another foot and a half farther than that. And with that toolbox, And I don't know where I'm gonna put that locker, but with that stuff out of that way, I'll be able to park a good foot closer to the wall over there. This is a big garage, but it's not meant to do like 3 cars next to each other the way the doors are set up. So with as long as the truck is, I gotta have it at an angle and have the van here, or vice versa, that, you know, one's gotta be pulled in at an angle, which is kind of a bummer because it's not deep enough. But once I get that space cleared out, I could potentially put the motorcycles over here, pull the van in straight, and my wife would still be able to park behind it. So we may end up doing that, because then I could just pull the truck in straight. We'll see what I figure out, but yes, get this shelf loaded up and get the other one done. We're making pretty decent time. It's 2:47. All right, got that one set up. I could have probably even left that shelf a little bit lower, but the bottom is high enough that I can reach underneath there. I can sweep underneath of it. I can do whatever. I can put my little sticky traps to catch spideys and the occasional mouse that I have. I threw some stuff on there, not much, but we've got a little bit. Like I said, I put the engine block over here, and you can see that it doesn't stick out any farther than the shelves. And that one crate, that box does stick out a little bit, but I could turn it, but I wanted to leave that side of the shelf empty. So we're good on that. I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of this stuff down and get that other one assembled, and we'll see. I'll actually wait to put all the shelving. I'll put the bottom one on and then figure out where I want that TV to sit, because that's gonna take a bunch of room up in there. And for that, I may actually, I'm not gonna do it today, but I may actually cut a board out, because I've got a bunch of plywood right there. So it has like an actual board to sit on. If I left one of these shelves out, it would be a good little workstation. So we'll see how I do that. I may end up leaving one of those out. Like I said, I'm gonna build these together so that way I can put one of these in the basement, or I suppose I could put one somewhere else out here, but don't really have the room for it. But that will give me another shelf on that one. I'm just babbling at this point. We'll see if I can get this done before this camera battery dies. All right, well, that camera died while I was putting that thing together, but there we go. We've got it together. As you can see, the shelves are spaced quite a bit differently. That one is fairly small up there. Like I said, I might end up just taking one of those shelves out. Like I could take that one out and maybe move this one up a little bit to get some more room down here, and that would be fine. But the TV is basically like, I have this shelf as low as it'll go, to the point where these braces that are in here won't fit over here. So there should be one right here like there is there, but it works. It's hot out here, and I need to go take a shower before my wife gets home. So I'm gonna move the toolbox over there just because I want to see what it looks like. Try to get some of this stuff picked up quick, but yeah, let me get that moved and just see how it fits over there. All right, y'all, toolbox is moved. So you can see there's still plenty of room between that and the door. I may actually, although it makes more sense to have it on this side because those are the wheels that spin, those don't. There's a handle right here, which I stick a bunch of clamps and stuff in, but that's nice right there because I'll be able to access that whenever I want, and I will be able to move that, whichever vehicle is over here, way back, because I mean, as long as I could squeeze back here and get what's in this thing for now, there's just some basic tools and stuff in here. Like, I don't know. I think this is going to be really nice. It's a start. I should have taken that down before I moved everything in front of it, but we shall get to that in a moment. Like I said, it's hot, so I'm sweating. I need to go chug some water and get this cleaned up a little bit. I'm gonna take a shower and I'll get back to you guys probably tomorrow morning. We'll get these shelves loaded up and we'll get to working on that junk over there. All right, we are on to day 2 of this nonsense of trying to clean up the garage here a little bit, get it a bit better organized. You can see I've got the truck in here, and you can kind of see how much room just one vehicle takes up in space here. Got all the junk here. Did put a few more things on the shelves over there, a little bit better organized, but today we're just gonna leave that stuff for now, and I'm gonna start working on this side. Like I said, I've got a bunch of things that I need to take down to my basement, so I'm gonna do that quickly. Then we'll see what we can do to get some of this stuff organized. I think as far as that ice shack, the fishing ice shack goes, that's hiding down there, takes up that entire space. I should be able to clear off the top of that bench that my table saw is underneath, and it could probably sit on top of that. I think that will be the best spot and get it off of the ground. Still don't know what I'm gonna do with this big seat, because that's gonna be in the way out here. Maybe it can sit right there, I don't know. We'll see what I figure out with that. Yeah, just a lot of junk out here, man. Probably should get rid of some of this stuff, but most of it is useful things. Anyways, I'm gonna quickly off camera move a bunch of this crap to the basement. Like, there's some camping stuff out here, my fishing poles. Might get these file cabinets and stuff out of here that I mentioned yesterday, and then we'll see what we can do with the rest of this stuff. All right, y'all. It's been half a day and I haven't even turned the camera back on, but I have made some serious progress over here. I think I took a good 6 things down to the basement. There was a tote over here full of laundry detergent that we forgot that we had, so that's in the house now. As you can see, we got the ice shack up on this table and it fits nicely. It sucks that it's in front of the window. And I still don't like this here, but the reason I built this in the first place, which I made a video about building that, but was to get my table saw underneath of there and out of the way, because that was floating around my old garage, which was quite a bit, you know, it was a quarter of the size of this garage. I moved that little cabinet over here. It fits nicely. I'm gonna leave that up for now, just because I don't really care to take it down. And then I think that file cabinet, which should have my welder on top of it, but that's at Greg's house, that should fit right here. I don't know what I'm gonna do with these. That can go back on top of the ice shack. But we're making solid progress. Clearly we're gaining floor space, which is nice. And it's actually like, I feel like it's echoey, more echoey in here, because there's less stuff in here. I don't know. I'm probably imagining that, but I guess I can actually set the camera up. My wife definitely had to help me pick up that ice shack. I wasn't gonna get it that high up by myself, but I am happy that that fits there and it fits nicely and it's out of the way. All right, let's toss this other stuff on top of it. Heavy. Heavier than you owe, because my spud bar's in there. Completely block out that window. Yeah, that sucks, but it's better than it being on the floor for right now. I think I'm getting close to where we're probably gonna finish this video up, but let's see. Can I get that through here? Trash. Oh. least it fits. If it fits, it ships. Gaining space. Yeah, I don't know what to do with these chairs. Like, I mean, I could sell them, but I really don't want to get rid of them. I don't feel like it's worth it. Right now my basement is so full of stuff that taking this stuff down there is kind of not gonna work either. But, and they're in such great shape. I don't think I'll ever put them back in there, but I don't know. For now they're just gonna stay out here. All right, y'all, so it's the next morning. I think I ate some bad Chinese food last night. I've been feeling pretty rough. Anyways, this is where we're gonna go ahead and end this one out. As you can see, I've got this stuff taken care of. The van is back, but I'm not gonna show you guys that until I get the footage from the wrap place. They did some time-lapse stuff for me. But it fits over there nicely. I moved old Greg's bike over here. This needs to go out to the trash. But we gained a lot of space over here. And like I said, the mower is gonna end up outside, so that doesn't really matter. I've got some other stuff to clean up still and figure out what I'm gonna do with these van chairs. But overall, I'm pretty satisfied. It opened up the space in here a lot. I guess I never did take that poster down, but we're gonna keep working at it. I'm gonna try to keep after this project so we can actually get it done in a reasonable amount of time, because I've got some projects and stuff that I'd like to do with the truck. And so I kind of need space to work on things in here, which was why I jumped at the opportunity to do this. But yeah, I guess, let me know what you guys think. And as always, stay tuned for the next adventure. I'll see you in a bit.